Thank you again. I'm waiting notification. Can't wait to put this on YouTube. All right, here we go. Boom, boom, boom. Perfect. And we are live. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to a very special edition of Off the Record on the People's Podcast this afternoon. We have an incredible guest with us, one who's going to give us some amazing information and some inspiration. That is none other than the incredible artist Mani himself. First of all, assalamu alaikum, sir.
Alaikum salam. Thank you for
Man, thank you. Thank you. All right. Now, before we get started, I must be transparent to the audience because I try to be as transparent as possible and just do a good interview like this with my good voice on. But I want people to know this is my family. This is my nephew. So this is very special to me that you would take time out of your busy schedule and our family and the viewing audience to give us some information as well as inspiration. So we look forward to that. Okay. So Mani, the first thing we want to know is when did you know that you wanted to be an artist?
Well, first of all, I would like to say it's an honor and a privilege to be a guest on your podcast. You know, like you said, I'm your nephew. This is my uncle. I look up to him. I admire him and respect him. And I just wanted to make that be known. But as far as me becoming an artist, I would say I got interested in writing music when I was in the Virgin Islands in St. Thomas. A couple of my friends rap. I was a big jock back then. All I played was basketball and focused on the girls and whatnot. But a few of my friends started rapping, and I gave it a try one day and I wrote a verse, but I never followed up until I got to Georgia. And I didn't make the basketball team up here in the States. And so I decided to start rapping. And ever since then, it's been like nonstop.
Praise be to Allah. Okay, good. Okay, I didn't know you was a hooper like that, Money. Okay. Mimi says ASA family. Rashad says A. They do it off of Money. Naima says ASA family and all. She loves it. Okay, beautiful. All right. So Monty, my next question for you is: what is some of your where do you draw inspiration from? Like, are there any artists that inspire you?
I mean, I listen to all sorts of music, you know, rap, hip hop, especially rap, hip hop, you know, reggae, even the country. You know, I haven't listened too much of rock or anything of that nature, but gospel, you know, spiritual music, African music. So I draw inspiration from all sorts of music, all sorts of life experiences, and just like my day-to-day interactions.
Okay, good.
As far as like favorite artists, I mean, I grew up listening to reggae, but then and like calypso and just like island music. And then when I had a choice to decide what I wanted to listen to, I began with like the Wiz Khalifas, the Big Seans, that generation, you know, the Kendrick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so, that's a good thing.
All
right, good, Monty. And then somebody said, Walaikum salam. Sister Nietzsche Taylor says the greetings. She's always showing love. Okay, perfect. And I can't wait to put this on YouTube. Now, Monty, before we get to hear you spit, you know what I'm saying, your amazing freestyle for us, can you let us know what it was like spending time, you know, at the farm with the Most High Min Farrakhan for summers? What was that like?
Man. If I would have to sum it up, it was life-changing, to be honest. The impact it had on me as a young man and the effect that it had on, like, it shaped my mentality and it changed my mentality to be able to see a Black man with so much power. And before I was able to study the minister, I was brought around his personal life. So I didn't even know background as to what led up to that. I just saw him with that. And before that, I had never seen a man with so much power, you know what I mean? And just living that sort of lifestyle. And so then as I grew older, I went back and studied all of his lectures and his story and realized what led to that. And it just made me respect him even more. And it also, it instilled a love for nature in me and farming, which is why I'm in agriculture, because I was up there, I was working 12-hour shifts. I would wake up in the morning in Chicago, like 6 o'clock in the morning, ride out with the chefs from Chicago to Michigan and be out there all day, and then leave at 7, 8 o'clock in the night and ride back to Chicago and do that 5 days a week. And it also instilled work ethic to where now I'm working 12, 16, 18, sometimes 20-hour days. And when it, like, it's second nature. So I learned a lot of principles by my few summers working there.
Praise be to Allah. Yes, sir. And what was it like, talking to the minister? Did he ever tell you something? Like, what was that like?
Man, I used to, when I grew up there, I used to just want to stay in the background. Like I would want to be with the guards and stay in the guardhouse and just like stay out the way and like play my position. And they would always invite me to the main house. They'd be like, "Why are you always in the guardhouse?" They would invite me to come eat with them. So every night I shared the same meal with him during the summer, whatever meal that they ate, me and the rest of his grandchildren. And I was the first young brother up there working. So my first summer I was there by myself with no other his grandchildren or sons or nieces and nephews or anything of that nature. It was difficult, but the following summer they came up and then it was like he was inviting me more into the family aspect versus just being like a laborer. And man, he used to talk, but he would just say simple messages. Like I got to play my music one time. I got to play my music in his Hummer, like, and he went out his way because we were in his main house and I tried to get him to listen to it in his living room, and it wouldn't play. The disc wouldn't play for some reason, and then he got up and took me outside. He was like, "You know what, let's go try it in the car." First he tried it on the CD player, then he tried it on the DVD player. Then he was like, "All right, well, let's go try it in the car." Played it to him in the car with his daughters in the back seat. And it just moments like that, it were memorable for me. And being able to see him in his personal element. So being able to see him as he is coming down the stairs in his house in the morning, hair nappy with a robe on, just, like going and sit at his couch and just watching TV or watching the news, and just the smart remarks he would make to us. Or if he would see us come late, how he would check his watch and then look at us and be like, "What y'all doing?" Things of that nature. Those are most memorable moments for me with him. But a lot of the time I spent working.
Praise be to Allah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now let's talk about this lineage that you come from, because it's great on both sides. So who are your grandparents? Let's talk about your grandparents. That's amazing.
Okay, so how we're related, my grandfather is your father, Minister Abdul Sharif Muhammad, and a great warrior for the nation, former Supreme Captain, now regional minister, Southern regional minister. And I draw a lot of inspiration and what could you say? There's a lot of him in me because he's a warrior for God, and so am I, And I feel that transcended him into me, excuse me. And the same for my mother's father, who was Captain Salim Muhammad. May Allah be pleased with him.
May Allah be pleased. Yes, sir.
I never really got to know him as much, but I feel there's a lot of him in me as well. And being raised by my mother, who was a child of his, there's a lot of, like, although I wasn't around him a lot, I feel like by just being around my mother, I'm being around an extension of him. You understand? So that's how I look at that. And even though I didn't get to like study him or hear him speak to me or hear him teach me lessons and things of that nature, I feel like he spent his entire life working for the nation and defending Minister Farrakhan. So everything I would need to know, I would just have to study the minister. You understand?
Beautiful, Monty. Okay, what about your grandma? What about Sister Celestine? We got to talk about your grandmother cooking for the minister all these years.
Was the minister's personal chef for multiple years, for a long time. She was a chef at the Salim restaurant as well, and just an all-around great woman, mother, grandmother. And she helped rear me as well. So I can't thank Allah enough for her. May he be pleased with her as well.
Praise be to Allah. May he be pleased. All of the great memories that we have from the Salam with Sister Celestine, affectionately known as C1. For some people, we call it C1. And then Brother Salim, he taught me so much and taught many of us so much. One more person before we hear your freestyle. The great Brother Rashad Muhammad, who connected me and you, which is random, but we had a training and you with him, and he's like, "You don't know what that is?" Because I hadn't seen you so long, and Brother Rashad was very instrumental in connecting me and you together and keeping us close, doing security for the minister. How important has Brother Rashad been for you?
Man, you can't tell me I'm not family with my uncle. I just talked to him 3 or 4 weeks ago. We stay in contact every year. every year. He just came down here to Florida maybe a few months ago and we were hanging out, but that's whose home. He allowed me interest into his home when I first began working at the farm. That's whose house I stayed at. And, you know, he didn't know me from a stranger in the street, to be honest. He just had respect for my grandfathers. And, you know, I respect him for that, for allowing me to come into his house as a young man and teaching me a lot of how to respect a man, you know, because I didn't have too much respect for my father at that age, around 14, because he had been absent in my life. But he told me, he just taught me, like, that's not our role to judge our parents, you know, it's just to be grateful and respect them. So he taught me a lot, and we still keep in contact to this day. You know, that's my uncle and I love him.
Praise be to Allah. Yes, sir. Same here. Speaking of uncles, my uncle, Minister Jamil, says, Assalamu alaikum. He says, so good to see you, Mani. Yes, Bro Rashad's been, you know, amazing on security, but personal level, you know, keeping us tight and holding everybody down and being responsible. So that's a good thing as well. Okay, how did your moms feel once you realized, or your family, you know, your sisters and brothers as well, your aunts, you know, aunts, everybody, once they found out that you wanted to do music? Were they supportive? Were they shocked? How did that work?
I mean, yeah, everybody was supportive. You know, they listen to my mother's my biggest fan, to be honest. And my aunt actually took me to my first performance in Atlanta at the Red Light Cafe. Yeah, so my it's always stood by my side in this journey in creating this art.
Praise be to Allah. Okay, so we definitely coming to hear this freestyle, but I wanted to do one more question before we get started. Your land, you talking about your land when we was in Florida, and you know you're growing it, you're working on the hours on it. What keeps you motivated, you know, to you know do your own land? Like put us on, tell us about it.
Well, so recently, I would say about a year before I acquired an agricultural land in Ocala, which is it's something like a major city. It's like a Orlando or Miami, or Gainesville or Tampa here in the state of Florida, and I decided to start a farm based. Really, my inspiration for agriculture was working at the farm and hearing the minister speak. If you listen to a lot of his lectures, when he talks about business and sustainable development and the farm being the engine of the nation, it inspired me. And the fact that I was one of the first young people to work at the farm, I'm like, that was no coincidence. And the things that I learned up there, all the principles I learned about agriculture, urban agriculture, sustainable development, and just nourishing and healing, I decided, why else? That was my tutelage, my mentorship, or my apprenticeship, if some may say. And so I decided to continue to pursue that as well. And I was blessed to, I mean, ever since I've been in Florida, I've been looking for land because, you know, you gotta have land. So once I came across that parcel, I decided to put down on it and start cultivating it on my own. I had some heavy equipment go out there, create. I'm turning it pretty much from a forest into a full-fledged farm, small scale operation on an acre, you know, and I love it. Like, what keeps me motivated is to know that for one, I can serve a purpose. I can serve my community. I can, like, my mission statement for my company that I intend to found, AgRelief, is to nourish humanity regeneratively. And, you know, I want our slogan to be to cultivate wellness. So that's why I do what I do. And that's why I stay inspired, because I know that what the most honorable Elijah Muhammad say, you can't be free if you still have your hand in someone else's kitchen. So you got to start the farm.
Go ahead, Lonnie. Okay, yes, sir. And so many people are showing you love on Facebook, and I can't wait to put this on YouTube. Okay, let's get straight into it, Mike. So we can hear these bars. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Let's get straight into it.
Yes, sir. All right. Now, excuse me if I fumble, because this verse is kind of old, but I feel like it would suit the occasion. So
okay.
I'm gonna play it off my phone and try to recite it verbatim.
Okay.
All right. All right. Bear with me. I don't know if you can hear that. You know. Okay. So like, uh, uh, I say like God of the universe, original man, I was the first. All these things that I have learned, you might think I was a nerd, but I come up off the curb, till I'm signed to the streets. I just seek and I observe and apply my strategy. Business is warfare. Call me young Sun Tzu, conquer like Genghis Khan when I come through. It's amazing how I'm rising from the pit. If I left it to my ops, I'd be dead in the ditch. Still I'm standing strong, head high like my fist. Couple losses, for those I had to sit. Now I'm undefeated like Cali, cause all I do is win. Fell in love with a stripper. I'm no stranger to sin, but once I learn my lesson, it won't happen again. Now I'm in love with the God, why I'm praying all I can. Life is what you make it. I choose paradise, peace, prosperity, abundance. These the things I like. Manage all this opportunity, take advantage. Don't panic, because we've inherited a planet so organic. Stack of starve, I overcame and vanished. They can't stand it. Try me wrong and I will cause damage. Young God.
Yeah, Monty. Yeah, Monty. Okay.
Yes,
Excellent. And Mimi said beautiful, Monty, and everybody showing you love on Facebook. Monty, so do you want me to be on a remix or like sing the hook? Like how you want me? Like what you want me to do with that? What you want me to do? Can I be on a remix?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, good. Now, Monty, where can people see you, follow you on social media?
They can get me on the gram right now at the #1 official Monty, and it's the same for all social media platforms: Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat. Just exclude the one; it's just official Monty.
Okay, good. Yes, sir. And one more question. Now, since you've been in Atlanta, everywhere I went, people be like, they thought you was my brother. They thought you was like just a young person on the drill team. They used to be like, who? I was like, that's my nephew. They like, what? I'm trying to holler. Like, what's going on? So what, what I'm saying? What is Monty looking for, in a woman? What you looking for?
Honestly, I recently got swooped up off the market. I
Okay.
Yes, sir. I met this young lady. One of my friends, a young lady of mine, convinced me to download this app called Hinge, and I'm just on there.
Okay.
To be completely honest with you, I'm just on there swiping through faces, And I matched with a young lady from the Caribbean, and she happened to be from St. Thomas, which is the island that I was brought up on, and my family's from. And we just clicked instantly. Started talking, went on a few dates, and now we going steady. Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Monty. Okay, I'm happy for you, man. I'm thinking you sing out here. Okay, good. Yes, sir. Beautiful. I'm happy for you, Monty. And well, Monty, please give your moms, aunties, sisters, brothers, everybody the greetings. Your family that's down there. Inshallah, I will see you soon in person. I love you. I'm proud of you, Monty. Keep winning, man. Keep pursuing your dreams.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. I make sure please return the greetings and peace to the fam, everybody. Shadi, Mimi, Naima, Gramps, everyone. And
yes, sir.
Man, I can't wait to next time I see you all. Inshallah, I'll be in Atlanta soon and we can kick it.
Absolutely. I gotta tell all the girls who was hitting me like, man, what's up with Monty from the Drills? I'm like, he's off the market. He's out of here. Y'all can't holler. No. He's no longer single. That's right. He's locked in.
Yes, sir.
I'm proud of you, Monty. This is Joshua Leonard Muhammad signing off of the People's Podcast. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum salam.
About to put this on YouTube. Everybody like, share, subscribe. There we go.
Love you, huh?
Love you more.